Okay, so this video is for everyone who has just received their products and you got your beautiful packaging in the mail and then you're like, now what? I know some people just dive right in and start using them, and some people are a little bit more apprehensive and just aren't sure where to get started. So go ahead and watch the video, and then I'm happy to answer any questions at any time, always and forever. Okay, so first things first. Most people are starting with this is called the quad because it holds 4 of the tins. This is the marble. So what you're going to want to do is when you get all your tins, they look, in this packaging, you just slide them on out. Like so. You'll just slide them out. And then you'll start to fill up your quad. This is the magnetic piece, right? So you can always move them in and out as if your colors change or just depending on what your needs are. So I like to put my lighter color in first, but it's totally your call. You can set up however you like. All right, so I'm going to start with my highlight color. Kind of shiny here. There, so that's mine, June. And then my contour color. Next, I'll do my blush. And then the illuminator. Pearl. Okay. So I just kind of slid them in. This is how it looks now. Okay, so some people have 2 highlight colors, and in that case, it is your call. If you, eventually you might want to upgrade to a bigger palette, but some people just keep their highlighter out separately and then just pop another highlight color in. So that is totally your call. You might not always need 2 colors. Sometimes it's just when you're transitioning to seasons, or some people who are kind of color correcting under their eyes have 2 different colors, or any blemishes that you're trying to cover up. So this is how it might look if you have 2 highlight colors. So your lighter color that might go under your eyes, not any blemishes or red marks, and then your contour and your blush, and then just kind of keep your illuminator separate. So it's your call, totally your call. All right, so then I'll just get started. I always clean my brushes before I get started. Spray a little of the Restore spray on there. Smells lovely, and you can see how much it comes off. I just spray the spray on the brush and then just rub it off. If you don't have a brush cleaner, just something to consider, so you don't have to soap up your brushes like on a weekly basis or however. The brushes last longer too if you're just putting a spray on there rather than soaking them. All right, so you can see how much just came off. This is the 30-second hack brush. So some people start with this. Some people start with the detail hack, okay? So today I'll show both eventually, but today I'm going to use the detail hack. So again, just for beginners, I'm going to be really detailed. All right, so I have a little bit of milk moisturizer on my face before I started. I just pumped it out of here. Again, any moisturizer is great. Depending on your skin type, you might want to use more or less. Because it's a cream foundation, some people find that they don't need to use their moisturizer in the morning. Of course, always use a sunscreen. But you can play around with that in your skin. And because it is a cream, sometimes it takes a few days for your skin to adjust because your skin is used to being more dry. So sometimes it produces a little bit more oil. So just know that sometimes you might need to play with that just a little bit. All right, so I'm going to start for demonstration purposes, I'll start with my contour color. I'm going to use the thicker end of the 30-second hack brush. Okay, and just kind of go in there on the side, because what I'm going to want to do here is just create a line. Kind of pull your hair back, and you can see the shadow right there. And I just put a line. So remember, the contour color and the highlight color make up your foundation. And they're going to be a thicker consistency than like the blush or the illuminator. So even though they all kind of look the same or in the same shape, they're all different consistencies according to like the job they're going to do on your face. So I gave myself 2 little lines. One thing you want to avoid is it's not a bronzer, so you don't want to go in really, dark and create a lot of brown there. You want to kind of keep a line and then softly blend up, okay? We do have a bronzer, but that's another story for another day. So right now you're just thinking about a shadow, and a shadow isn't diffused. It's more, exact. Then this time I can kind of dip in with the flat edge more because my forehead's pretty big. So I can do a pretty wide strip up here. So I'm just gonna do the top of my forehead with the contour. So this is the same color. I use olive. Olive is really popular. Ash is really popular. They're pretty similar. So I'm doing up at my forehead. Then while it's on my brush a little bit, I can kind of do my jawline a little bit and then sweep down. So there's not a ton of product right now on the brush. Again, you can, if you want to do your nose a little bit, you can, but this is just like, once you kind of feel comfy with it, you can kind of add that in. So right now I just have the contour on. You can kind of see where it is. And then I'll put on the highlight. The reason I like to do the highlight first is because then I don't really even have to brush, like wash my brush in between, but it is quick and easy. But I wanted to do the contour to show you guys first. Just because, if you dip into dark in the light, there still might be some on the brush, but if you go from light to dark, no big deal, right? All right, so same thing. Now I'm gonna use the highlight colors. And again, it's cream, so it moves around, and it's just okay. So if you get too much, you'll just rub it out or use a perfector sponge. So it's all good. So I'm gonna go in and start under my eyes and just start to brighten that area up. You'll find what works for you. I like to do like some tapping because I do have some crepiness under my eyes a little bit now. Tapping and then like a sweep, okay? So the highlighter is gonna go all the places that you kind of want to bring light to, not where the contour goes, if that makes sense. I kind of think of like highlighting your eyes, kind of. Any kind of blemishes, acne kind of stuff I have going on, I can go back and touch that up at the end. This time I'm not rubbing over it so harshly because I don't take a lot of time to do my makeup. All right, so I'm just kind of, again, going in. You kind of want to get, like, we tend to be really red around our nose, so it's your personal brush, so just get in there. You can always clean it. I don't know, I get really red on my nose. So again, stippling and then swiping. Kind of get it out on the brush. Biggest mistake probably when people get their things are using too much highlighter and being afraid of the contour. Especially if your skin is pretty lovely, you just need a little bit to change, like to color correct, but not really, you're not really putting it everywhere. All right, so I have on the contour and the highlighter, and now I'll just put on some blush. And like right there, this needs blended out, and I will blend that out with a perfector sponge, so it's okay. It's okay to not be happy with it along the way, I guess, because you can kind of fix it at the end. All right, so blush, a couple of different ways. Some people like to start with their finger to kind of really get the correct placement. So if you do that, you want to think about putting it above the contour, right? But not in this area where we want to keep the lightness. So that's why sometimes the finger is nice. And I almost got it. Oh, yeah. I got it too high, but see, I just wiped it off. It's no big deal. So I'm just putting on some blush. I'll take, this is the B squared brush, but of course if you're using the detail hack, you can use that as well if you have your first brush. So then again, I just kind of stippled it in. Yeah, this works fine. I do like this brush for powder and blush, but this works fine. If this is the brush you have, it's totally fine, and you can do it. All right, so I have my blush on. Now I'll put a little illuminator on. So here it is, I have Pearl. You want to think about, some people confuse illuminator and highlighter, and I accidentally use them interchangeably, but they're different. This is just, it's very, very sheer, not sparkly. Just kind of dip in, put them on the tops of your cheekbones. Really, like right where you can feel the tip of that bone. Another place that I like to put it, especially if you're not wearing any eyeshadow, under the brow, and it just kind of gives a little bit of a lift there. You can put a little bit on your nose, but really, I mean, this, you can't, I don't know if it's picking up as well, but it just catches the light. So that's the illuminator. And then if you want to do your eye makeup, that's great. That's, you know, we can do that another day if you have questions about that. But that is how to get your 3D foundation going. And again, if you want to go back and cover up some things, I can show you that too. But this just wanted to be like a really basic starter video. So I have all my makeup on, and last, what I will finish with is the Stay Spray. So I like to give mine a shake, and then spray. Smells like the ocean, very coconutty. I think most of you have this. I've never used a stay spray before, or a setting spray, but it does really help, and I think it's going to be really helpful in the summer. If you have really oily skin, or if you're going to be working outside all day, or like, I don't know, at a tennis, I was going to say meet, I don't know if that's right, but you can also use a stay spray before your foundation too. But if you feel like the makeup is too oily on your skin, there's so many tips and tricks, because you do kind of have to adjust it based on your skin type. So keep communicating, let me know if you have any issues and we can troubleshoot them. Some people like to finish with the powder after the stay spray. That is your call too. I like to have like more of a dewy look instead of like I was so sick of the powdery look from Years of Bare Minerals. So I kind of like not feeling that thickness on my skin. Plus I feel like the powder was sitting in my wrinkles, but we're all different. So if you want to finish with the powder, we have a powder. If you want to use the powder that you've always used and loved, go for that. So we can also make anything work that you currently love. All right, I hope I've answered your questions. I'm sure there could be more, or will be more. So just, keep on asking, and I'll do my best to get all the answers that you need. Thanks.